Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Shruti Mishra and with me is Arundhati Ramanan. These are the top headlines from the startup space. SEBI has approved Lenskart's DRHP for its upcoming IPO. As per the offer document, the IPO will consist of a fresh issue of equity shares worth 2,150 crore rupees, along with an offer for sale of up to 13.2 crore shares by existing investors and promoters.
IPO-bound Boat posted a net profit of over 60 crore rupees in FY25, a significant turnaround from last year's loss, driven by product innovation and cost control. Despite a slight revenue dip, the company achieved 142 crore rupees EBITDA and received SEBI's nod for its IPO.
JSW One Platforms, a B2B e-commerce marketplace, has raised 575 crore rupees from SBI, JSW Steel and others. The fresh capital will drive JSW One's next phase of growth through accelerated investments in its proprietary technology platform, expansion of operations and strengthening of its NBFC arm.
EcoX has secured $4 million in a strategic funding round led by Dovetail Global Fund PCC, Nav Bharat Investment Fund and Narnolia Velux Fund ahead of IPO preparation. The fresh capital will fuel technology enhancement, talent acquisition, expansion and strengthening clean technology solutions.
Morphing Machines, a fabless semiconductor or IP company, has raised 38.36 crore rupees in a Series A funding round from IAN, Alpha Fund, Speciale Invest, Ivy Cap Ventures and others. The fresh funding will accelerate deployment of Redefine into consumer cloud data centers, hyperscalers and other such use cases. Well, those were the headlines we've been tracking for you this evening. On What's Brewing today, Agentic voice AI solution for banking and financial services, Greylabs AI, has raised 85 crore rupees in a Series A funding led by Elevation Capital with participation from existing investor Z47 and leading angels. Now, this funding coincides with the launch of its flagship voice AI agent platform, reimagining customer conversations in BFSI, from sales and service to collections and renewals, with multilingual human-like voice agents that combine compliance with empathy. In just 18 months, Greylabs AI has signed up over 50 institutions and now wants to scale to 300 clients. Joining me now is Aman Goel, the co-founder and CEO of Greylabs AI. Aman, welcome to Startup Street. You've just launched your flagship voice AI agent platform. Aman, tell us what sets it apart from legacy call center automation or analytics tools, and what is the moat Greylabs is building?
Sure, Shruti. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. Really a pleasure to be here. So historically, the solutions that have been offered in the market are very basic. So if you call a bank today in the call center, there is a basic IVR flow which can, route the call to the correct agent, or it can send you your account balance over SMS.
Sure.
But for most of the times, you have to explain your query to several agents, several telecallers, because one agent is not able to completely resolve your issue. So what we are building is a full stack contact center which is powered by AI. So the AI will not just send you basic details like your account balance, etc. It can completely convince you to purchase a product from the bank side. It can collect EMIs. It can resolve your query. It can raise a ticket. So the fact that we are building a complete suite as a solution rather than just a basic technology is what differentiates us from the other solutions in the market.
Okay, you've raised 85 crore rupees in Series A. How do you plan to deploy the capital, and why do you believe, Aman, BFSI is the perfect use case for voice AI in India?
So we plan to deploy the capital majorly in the research and development part of the product. So, the problem we are solving is very complicated because of the sheer size and scale and the diversity of our country. There are so many languages, there are so many accents, dialects, right? So we are building, if we have to solve this problem at a large scale, we have to make sure that we cover every part of the value chain.
Sure.
So that requires deep research, that requires deep development. So that's why that's a major part of where our investment will go.
Okay. Human-like empathy, multilingual fluency, compliance, that's a tall order. How have you engineered this balance of efficiency and trust?
Yes. So that's one of the questions we get asked often from our customers also. See, so most of the companies are building very horizontal solutions, which means they have to book an alarm. They have to, request an alarm. They have to book a flight ticket. They have to book a cab. order food, everything has to be integrated in one solution. So rather than going very horizontal, we are going very deeply into one vertical, which is financial services. So I'll give you a simple example. Civil, CIVIL versus Civil score, right? That the difference happens in a financial services domain and not any other domain, as an example. So our software, because of the constraint in one domain, we are able to offer much higher accuracy and much better solution, which offers, as the parameters you mentioned, empathy, efficiency, accuracy, etc. And we need to make sure that the entire solution is resident within Indian boundaries. This is as per, SEBI, IRDA, the regulatory guidelines. So that's why the whole thing has been engineered from the ground up.
Okay, Aman, in just 18 months, you've onboarded 50 plus BFSI clients from RBL Bank and AU Bank to SBI Life and ICICI Prudential. What's driving this rapid adoption?
I think the biggest thing that is driving the adoption is the impact we are creating, right? In many of the companies, we have been able to show the conversion rates of telesales calls, which are much higher than the human telecallers. And that impact is what is driving word of mouth, where executives from one of the company, we are able to give the reference to other companies, other customers who are looking out for such solutions in the market. Plus, we are, we are not building a mass market product, as in we don't want to target 10,000 customers. We want to target the top 500 companies of the country. So with that focus on the market, we try to offer highly personalized service, which means that the CEO himself is available at all times, right? So that customer experience which we are offering to our enterprise clients, the kind of experience that nobody is able to offer, that also is driving the adoption of our product.
All right, Aman, BFSI is a highly regulated sector. How do you convince conservative institutions to trust AI with customer-facing conversations? And also, if you could tell us what's the revenue model for Greylabs AI with hundreds of millions of conversations already being processed? How fast is the business growing? And are you closing on profitability?
Yes, so I think you asked the most important question, because these are customer conversations. These are important. They contain some sensitive information, sensitive data. So see, as a very important principle, we do not store any data of any of the end consumer on our servers. The data belongs to the regulated entity, which means the bank. They continue to own their customer data, the call recordings, etc. Plus, we have taken care of ensuring that we comply with all the regulatory guidelines, the data security guidelines, which means we are SOC 2 compliant, we are ISO compliant, we have third-party data security audit done of our softwares, we are DPDP compliant. Right? This gives a lot more comfort to the Chief Information Security Officer of the financial institution who is looking to buy our product. We are, all as I said, even for processing of these call recordings or interactions, the data and everything remains within Indian boundaries. It does not go outside. So by the DNA of the team, the product, the platform, the technology, everything has been tailored and designed for financial institutions. So that's the first part of your question. The second part of your question was around the pricing model. So we charge on a per minute basis, which means, you do 100 minutes of calling through our platform, 100 minutes into the unit rate. That's just an example. In terms of profitability, so typically, see, I come from a Marwadi family. I'm, business by nature. I've been a second-time founder. So I strongly believe that businesses are meant to generate profit by creating value for the customers. So default state, yes, the business is not burning money. But because we are investing in opening an office in Delhi. We are opening an office in Bangalore. We are hiring people in teams which don't directly generate revenue. As an example, we hired a finance controller. We hired someone in the people function, the HR function.
Sure, man. Yeah, so sorry, we've completely run out of time, and we wish you the very best with all your growth plans and your target of reaching 300 clients. Many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Moving on the hot seat, Pune-based health tech startup Flexify Me is taking a big step forward in its mission to make physiotherapy smarter and more accessible. Now, the company has raised 20 crore rupees in a pre-series A round led by Ivy Cap Ventures, with participation from Signal Ventures and existing investors. The fresh capital will be used to expand hybrid care centers, launch AI-powered posture and gait labs, and strengthen clinical research partnerships. Flexify Me's platform combines AI with expert physiotherapy to identify the root cause of chronic pain, helping users avoid unnecessary surgeries and improve mobility. Joining me now to discuss this further is Manjeet Singh, the co-founder of Flexify Me. Manjeet, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. Before we get into the fundraise, if you could in 30 seconds just tell us about Flexify Me, what it offers and the gap that you're trying to address.
Yeah, first of all, thanks Arundhati for having us. So Flexify Me, we're a chronic pain management platform, and the focus for us is to increase the quality of life Because what has happened is, the quantity of life has improved in the last 50 years, but the quality has gone down. So people are living more in pain, but for a longer period of time. So our focus is to help people live completely without pain.
Last month you raised about 20 crore rupees led by Ivy Cap Ventures. How exactly will this funding sort of help accelerate your hybrid expansion plans and also your new AI-driven posture labs?
Sure. See, one of the biggest problem in this specific space of the chronic pain management is that there is no standardized diagnosis that happens. So once you go to one physiotherapist or second physiotherapist, so they do the complete treatment as per their own understanding. So what we have done is with the help of our AI-powered posture analysis, so we standardize the diagnosis, we understand the root cause of the pain, and that helps in solving the problem. And our approach is going omni-channel because that is what works in India. So currently we have 7,000 online patients. So we currently have 4 offline centers in Pune, and in the next 15 months, so we are targeting about 20 centers across Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore. So that will help us in doing an omni-channel play in the chronic pain segment.
Right, so an omni-channel play there. Can you sort of give us, a sense of your current revenue run rate or, your user growth and what scale you are targeting over the next 12 to 18 months with this fundraise?
Sure. So currently we have roughly around 7,000 patients that we are working with. So we are roughly doing about 1 crore monthly. So in the next 15 months, the target is once we have about 20 centers, so we'll reach to about 3.5 to 4 crores monthly revenue.
Sure. And what sets Flexify Me's AI-powered physiotherapy apart from, traditional clinics or other digital health startups offering pain management solutions?
So the biggest differentiator that we have is, again, the patented technology that we have developed to understand the root cause. So we do a static posture analysis because right now the biggest reason for the pain is the posture. We are doing a sedentary life in which we're sitting in front of the laptop for 9, 10 or more hours. That is basically completely destroying our posture. So the first thing that we do is identify the static posture analysis and muscle mobility, joint strength. So it's a complex analysis that we do that helps us understanding why that pain is there. And then we start working on the root cause of the pain so that it's not a temporary relief, but a complete relief from the pain in the long term.
So you're looking at complete relief of pain in the long term. You've also mentioned sort of expanding globally, right? So which markets are at the top of mind for you right now? And how will you sort of localize your model to suit different healthcare ecosystems?
Sure. So currently also by word of mouth, so we have almost 20% of our clients are from outside India, majorly 3 large markets. So one is US, second is UAE, and third is UK. So these are the 3 large outside India market that we focus upon. And currently the idea is our technology, we are taking it under FDA approval. So once we get FDA approval, so that is the plan. The first country that we start targeting is US and UAE are the 2 main markets that we'll focus upon.
US and UAE, and what's the revenue mix that you're hoping to see going forward?
So in terms of currently the revenue that we have is about 30% coming from outside India, but in next 15 months, so we are looking at roughly 40-45% of our revenues coming from outside India.
Sure. And, you're already working with enterprises and insurers, right? So how important are these partnerships to your growth, and what's the roadmap for scaling your B2B offerings?
So it's again plays a very important role because now healthcare is moving more towards the insurance driven, the market. So that's where we basically are working with insurance players. And the biggest challenge with insurance players right now is there is an increasing cost of surgeries. And, there was a study which was done that 70% of the surgeries which are done in India are not really required. And mostly people are getting pushed into surgeries. So that's where we come handy. We help insurance companies as well as individuals to recover without any surgery. And that's a win-win both for the insurance players as well as for the end users.
All right, Manjeet, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. We wish you all the best on this journey going forward.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Well, with that, it's time for us to head into a short break. But coming up, Bengaluru-based enterprise tech firm Beyondsqaure Solutions has raised $4 million in a Series A funding. How does it plan to use the funds? We find out on the other side.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Bengaluru-based enterprise tech firm Beyondsqaure Solutions has raised $4 million in a Series A funding round from Avant Global Corporation to accelerate the global expansion of its flagship product, Finalizer. The round will be executed in stages through new share issuances, convertible warrants, and subscriptions from existing investors.
And Arundhati, that's not all. Finalizer, developed entirely in India, is a financial consolidation and reporting platform that automates close compliance and reporting for CFOs, offering real-time insights across multiple entities and geographies.
Absolutely. And joining us now to discuss this further is Venkatachalam PK, the co-founder and CEO of Beyondsqaure Solutions. Venkatachalam, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and congratulations on the $4 million that you've raised. If you could start off by telling us how this capital infusion will specifically accelerate Beyondsquare's global growth and product roadmap for Finalizer.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me in this program. Avant Global is a firm that's based in Japan. I think they're a global leader in financial reporting. And this is a great impetus for us because it's going to fuel both product innovation and also it's going to fuel product geography expansion. We're looking at product innovation primarily driven by AI, and we're looking at growth and expansion across Southeast Asia, Middle East, and Europe.
Sure. This is Shruti quickly stepping in. Give us a sense of your offerings. You know, Finalizer operates in a competitive financial consolidation space. What sets it apart from global players like Oracle, Hyperion, or SAP BPC?
Well, it's a wonderful question. I think Finalizer is probably the only unified platform that automates the internal and external reporting requirements for the CFO office. So if you're looking at this reporting gamut of requirements, we're looking at close management, we're looking at financial reporting, we're looking at financial consolidation, and then disclosure management. So Finalizer is the unified platform that connects all of this, kind of driving unparalleled value to our finance teams.
Sure, and you're already serving over 100 enterprises across 45 countries, right? So what's your current revenue run rate, and which regions are driving the most traction right now for you?
Yeah, so about 25% of the BSE 100 companies are our clients. We have about 120 clients today. I think it's spread across 25 industry verticals. We have about 3,000 entities using Finalizer. About 30% of them are outside of India. We expect to grow by about 10 times over the next 3 years.
Okay. Like you mentioned earlier, you're targeting markets like the Middle East, Europe, and Southeast Asia. What's your go-to-market strategy for these regions? Will you look at local partnerships or acquisitions?
We're looking at, we have a very strong partnership with the Big Four consulting and some of the leading consulting firms. We do have PwC, Deloitte, BDO are some of our leading partners, the consulting space. We're looking at both establishing local niche partners as well as leveraging these global partners for growth. And some of the key drivers for growth would be the fact that Finalizer is probably, again, the only platform which is zero code, which is kind of completely configurable by the end business users. Given that the compliance and the regulatory requirements are constantly changing, for the business users to be empowered to actually configure the platform by themselves is a very key driver. And that's going to fuel a lot of our growth.
Sure, and you currently have a 40-member team, right? How will this fundraise sort of help you scale talent, especially in tech and customer success, to sort of support these international ambitions?
Absolutely. Given that it's a made in India product and it's made globally, and we want to take the likes of SAP and Oracle, and this investment from Avant is a testimony to that, and that's going to kind of seed some of the talent acquisition that we would like to have in the product space. Outside of the product, in terms of global expansion, again, I think the expertise that Avant would bring in terms of access to international markets, in terms of their strategic business expertise, will also help in this expansion, in this journey.
Okay. You've mentioned plans to deepen automation and compliance intelligence. Can you share how these upgrades will enhance Finalizer's value proposition for CFOs?
Great question. I think the larger ambition or the vision for Finalizer is to kind of make financial reporting autonomous, very much like your self-driven cars, where it can be real-time, where it can be autonomous, where it can be insight-driven. Today, the finance users spend a huge amount of midnight hours in generating these financial reports. And if you have to achieve this, I think it's a fairly complex space. And for us to look at zero touch, end-to-end automation of this data, all the way starting from their underlying operational systems and then driving it all the way to their financial reports, I think is a fairly complex journey, which requires a very robust and a very deep tech platform. And that is what we've invested in the first 7 years. And probably we are seeing some of those benefits come through. And that hopefully will kind of make this expansion happen.
Sure, and if you could quickly tell us in 20 seconds, looking ahead, do you see Beyondsqaure positioning Finalizer as a standalone SaaS leader or part of a larger enterprise ecosystem through, potential strategic partnerships?
I would say standalone SaaS leader. Of course, our partnership with Avant will deeply help in driving product innovation and expansion, but we are looking at establishing Finalizer as a standalone SaaS leader.
All right, with that, we'll have to wrap up our conversation. Venkatchalam, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today. Wish you the very best with all your growth plans.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming up on the other side.